Hello, I'm Myrna Loy of Blackbright News, which is a publication that can be found at www.issuu.com/Blackbright News, and it can be downloaded or read free of charge from that website. Today's video is about what's happened to the Grenfell Tower residents. Where are they? Now, according to The Independent, 48 families have accepted temporary housing. There's 175 who are not prepared to accept the temporary housing because they do not want to be moved around again. They just want to be offered permanent housing. Now, some of them have been offered 2 or 3 offers, but they're all temporary, and you can imagine after losing everything, after leaving Grenfell Tower, you don't want to put everything in a property only to know that maybe in 2 or 3 months time you're going to be shifted somewhere else. Now the Royal Borough of Kensington and Chelsea are now proposing that the survivors bid for accommodation, for a permanent accommodation. Private priority is going to be given to those with disabilities and for those with children, but there are supposed to be 100 permanent residences that these survivors have to bid for. It must be quite frustrating for them because they're not in this situation through any fault of their own. They're all in emergency hotels, and yes, they have been offered some accommodation, but it's either highly unsuitable, and like I said, they're going to have to move on after a few months. So what are they to do? We've got the traffickers, you've got the drug lords who are preying on vulnerable people, especially the survivors, and they're trying to sell them drugs to ease away their pain, which is what an advantage they're taking of these people. It's just not right. According to The Guardian, I'm going to read this. Eleanor Kelly, Chief Executive of Southwark Council in The Guardian, says many families are now on their 3rd and even 4th offer, but the offers are for temporary accommodation, not permanent, and they don't want to have to move twice. There's still 19 families who haven't been offered any housing offers yet because they're still in hospital recovering from the burns. So, in a nutshell, that's where the Grenfell survivors are at the moment. Majority of them, 175 of them, still in temporary accommodation. 48 families have accepted temporary accommodation, and there are 100 homes for 100 families who have to bid. Not an ideal situation, but at least you know where we are for the time being. Okay, I hope that was helpful.